Welcome to the Bleep Bulimia podcast with guest Karina, LifeArt holistic health practitioner and podcaster. Hi
Okay,
everyone,
correct.
I am Lorianne and I
Mhm.
am the host of Bleep Bulimia. And today I'm so pleased to have Karina, LifeArt, as she is a holistic health practitioner and a podcaster. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start off by asking, how did you get to become a health practitioner?
So my background is in marketing and management, and for many years I was just following the classic perception of success, which is, finishing study, finding a good job in a corporate world, buying apartment, and just, craving for material goods. And yeah, I was working in a companies in a corporate world, and at some point, um, I realized that this is not making me happy. At that time, I was drinking a lot of alcohol. I was using drugs. I didn't treat my body as a temple because I have multiple sexual partners. I was doing lots of things that were abusing my body actually and not taking care of myself. And the good thing about this experience and this job was that we had like a sports card to different facilities, sports facilities. So I just took choose something that was the closest to my house, which is a yoga studio. And with this card, we had the access for free, and I started to coming to yoga, and I discovered how bad I am. Like I couldn't, touch the floor. I couldn't touch my feet, and it was a really like slow process. From yoga it went to gym to pole dancing. Once I was watching a pole dance movie on YouTube with my friend drinking wine, and we decided, oh, let's go to try a pole dance class. And we went for this class, and I fall in love in pole dancing, and my friend didn't go never again. But that the pole dance led me to start to train more, to start to learn about nutrition, to start to stop drinking alcohol because the dancing trainings were more important for me and not having a hangover than having a party. But even yesterday, I was writing a post on my social media that quitting alcohol and let's say any substances and all this kind of stuff was not that difficult, like than realizing to change my environment and change my relationship and my people around me. Because um, I thought, like, because I know someone for years and they are my friends, I just can't quit on them. But they were not supporting my vision and my job, and they were keep pulling me into going to the parties, and even sometimes they were angry that I'm not drinking and make me feel bad about myself. So that was, I think, the hardest part for me. And this process took around 10 or 15 years when I was started to like really studying on different schools and nutrition, personal training, holistic health, start to take online courses also, and open my studio in Poland, which also gave me a experience on how not to make a business and push me out of Poland to live in Iceland. But living in Iceland also make my dream happen when I can now live in Mexico and be in Tulum. And yeah, I always wanted to live in a tropical country. So everything has a reason to on the path. And yes, for many years, I work with people now online, and I'm also sharing my passion and trying to inspire other people to treat the body as a temple on my podcast.
That's wonderful. And we were just speaking earlier about how there is some people who think if I move, if I run away, if I change my location, I might be able to, like in case of bulimia, be recovering from bulimia, or might be changing, the party world or whatever, but you're still bringing your mindset and your body with you.
Yes, correct. Emotions, while buried, they never die. It means that the energy that we have, the emotions, can be only transformed. It cannot be destroyed. This is the law of physics. So if we are not working on the interior and on these emotions and just like trying to suppress them, they're going to come into our life in a different ways, can lead to other chronic diseases, even like a cancer or depression or anything. So that's why one of the most important things in my journey, I think, is my spiritual practice, meditation, and journaling. I think the journaling is like a game changer in my life. And this is not an instant shift. It's not like you take a pill, like a painkiller, and after half an hour you stop feeling pain. This is also a process that takes sometimes months. And I had a period of time when I was writing in my journal answer to a couple of questions. Who am I? Just over a time, I started to see a pattern like, okay, this is actually my dream. And that helped me to be in the intuition, to make choices during the day that are lead me to better fulfillment. By journaling and meditating, I build my intuition, and that helps me not even making a choices when it comes to health and like food or exercises. That starts to become my lifestyle, a part of me.
Yeah. I like that what you're saying about journaling about who am I think that that's important because I know some of the people I've helped there. And again, in the bulimia side of it, they talk a lot about the food and their eating disorder, but they refuse to talk about what may be underlying the reasons why they have an eating disorder. So it's like food is taken over, and they hold on to that and talk about that rather than wanting to deal with the other stuff. And I agree with you. Journaling is excellent in order to find
Yes,
yourself better.
with the food, it's a very tricky subject. I have not experienced bulimia per se in my life. However, when I started to learn about nutrition and becoming a personal trainer, it was because also I was not happy with my body. And after many years of drinking, I thought I need to lose a lot of weight. So I was like training hard and I was learning about nutrition. So I started to be very obsessed also with the food. And I think at some point, I think I saw many women are super obsessed always with food, even if they are not per se in a bulimia. They always have some issue like I cannot eat this, I cannot eat that, I cannot eat at that time, I cannot eat I don't know from a plastic or from a glass or wherever. Like there is always something around, and yeah, actually just like recently I started to kind of like let it go a little bit because everything is designed for us, and it's not going to be a big deal if I'm going to eat ice cream, once a month. It's not my daily nutrition to eat sugar or drinking alcohol or anything like that. But if I'm going to have, a glass of wine once a month or once a 3 months, in my case usually it's more like that, it's also okay. Not getting stressed about that so much and more focusing about, yes, as you said, my general picture of who I am, not who I am in the certain moment when I'm maybe getting out of my routine or maybe getting out of the perception of like eating super healthy and following um, my plan with the nutrition. And this is things that we are not taught in school. Actually, we no one is teaching us that how to build the relationship with the body. We are learning mathematics, physics, how to earn money, how to design your career, all kinds of stuff, which are of course very interested and useful. But the only place we live in is our body. Our gods may be how we do we feel ease in our body, or maybe we feel some pain. Those are the things that are telling us what to do in a certain day.
And that is true. And those pains though, and I agree with you too, if you're journaling, sometimes those pains come out on paper.
Yeah, and it's good to put them on paper because for some reason that helps us to see a distance from this. And um, sometimes I catch myself for making a lot of drama in my head, and then I put it on the paper and I read it, and I'm like, what's actually a big deal? Like, what's going on?
That is so true. So I like that spirituality part of it too, because I think sometimes we separate the mind from the body, and although they're separate, they're also interconnected.
Yes, the body mirrors the mind. So they are like a marriage. They cannot not live without each other. And like even yesterday, I had some food poisoning, and I was really in a bad state. But my thought was like, what is this actually about? Is it really I ate something, or maybe my body is telling me that I'm suppressing something in my life? And when I started to feel about emotions, like why is it coming for me today, I realized that I've been struggling with a lot of limiting beliefs last day and days, and I was like catching myself on like really out of nowhere bad thinking about myself. I was even yesterday on a meeting with a lot of amazing women, and my thinking was like, oh, they are so great. I'm not that great like them, like they are so successful. I'm not successful like them. And then I was like thinking like, Karina, but they are your friends on the same level, it doesn't matter. Like, why are you talking this to myself? And this is just an example from yesterday. And for a couple of days, it was just like following me. I was like so tense because of these emotions that helped me to purge this outside through this sickness, get this inside, because I would not think inside me. I was like, just keep having these thoughts instead of like realizing that I don't need to have them. They are not mine. This is not true actually about myself. And even through this poisoning, and when I was like feeling bad, it was like a physical manifestation of what is actually happening inside my soul, because I'm also trying to work on my new courses online, on my business, and I have lots of limiting beliefs about that, and I'm trying to get rid of this because I know it's not true, because I am creating my destiny and my life, and I am deciding if I'm going to be successful or not, no one else. And yeah, that kind of helped me to get rid of these bad feelings, and also helped me to notice them, and take my attention to, instead of like trying to suppress this and like thinking, oh, why I have these feelings, like acknowledge them. Okay, yeah, I do have them. They are next to me, but this is not my dream. This is not my goal. My goal is to pursue on my dream and keep going and make it happen, because we are all equal in this world. We are actually all one. So it just doesn't matter, um, who I am with. We are on the same level, and I need to decide that I am successful.
That's like taking the energy from those successful people and taking some of that in instead of the toxic stuff that goes from our minds, right? So,
Exactly. And you said about like people like changing the environment when they trying to get out of the bulimia, but like if they're not working on emotions, it's not helping. I think it should kind of go in parallel. I mean, changing the environment is just acknowledging to help your disease to recover. It's not everything. It's not that you change environment and everything's gonna be good. It's like with the medicine, like the pill, like a painkiller, that's not gonna fix the problem. It can help you to kind of have a breath, step back for a while, but you need to do the job to find the core of the pain and prevent it. So the environment that can help you to take a breath, to help you to take your thoughts out of the problem for a while, maybe see a beauty around, and have some different feelings. But you need to keep doing the job inside yourself to integrate yourself with the environment, to really embody these different circumstances around you and the different you.
yeah, I agree with that. It was like you said, you have to, certain friends you have to let go of, but by letting go of them, you still have to work on yourself. But you're right. An environment is the start, but there's still the continuance. I just, I think it's wonderful what you're doing, and thank you very much for being vulnerable and talking about your own um, feelings of limiting beliefs. That's one thing I feel that a lot of people have issues with, not just women, men too. It's like, seems almost universal right now.
For a long time, when I started to be a health practitioner, I was ashamed to talk about my story, about also alcohol, and partying, and and then I realized that this is actually what makes me authentic, because people are struggling the same way as I did. And by sharing this story and by sharing what I'm actually like working on in my life and what I'm struggling with, I can show them actually a process how it looks like, and that helps them to also have hope in their life and not being stuck and like starting to take a first step. Maybe it's 5 minutes meditation, maybe it's one journal, maybe it's going to some different place to eat than usual, or meeting someone new, or going to some event that they were afraid to go because they don't know anyone, but they know that might actually help them to meet some new people and shift their mindset to start being interested in the different things in their life that will help them to recover from not only bulimia, from any trauma that they are working on to recover. Because the life brings trauma, and there is no person without any traumatic experience. The older we get, the more those experiences we have. But the holistic health doesn't mean that you are healthy per se. It means that you know how to deal with challenges in a healthy way. With whatever comes on your way, and is a challenge, is a disease, or is something that is not working with you in your life, you know how to manage this. You know how to navigate it. You know how to find a way to transform this.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. That it's not going to take away everything, but it'll help you get through it. Yeah, awesome. So tell us a little bit
Yes.
about your podcast, because you're a podcaster. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's called The Body is a Temple because this is my mission, to inspire people to realize that we are living in a temple. It's available or on all platforms like a Spotify, iTunes, or any other podcast platforms. And to make it short, what is it about? I'm telling it about health and spirituality, because now I'm currently in Tulum, and I have the opportunity to meet many people who work with health from the spiritual point of view. So, like how to connect with your heart, how to become an innerpreneur, how to um, go to the spiritual journey and discover of who you really are. So I'm talking about those kind of things, but I also have more science-based episodes about women cycle syncing, or about the different kinds of biohacking discoveries for longevity. So I'm trying to bring a wide variety of topics to my audience, and then they can choose what resonates with them. The thing that I'm always trying, like I always do in my podcast, I always give some simple um, action from people. So I always ask my listeners, like what can they my guests, what they can advise to the listeners, one thing that they can start do from today that can shift their life, shift their health. So in each episode there's at least one simple things that everybody can try on after each episode.
Oh, that's fun. That's a good idea. Never thought of that. For me, I like to make sure that our listeners go and visit you and learn more about you. So if you can tell my listeners where they can find you.
Yes, thank you so much. On the social media, Instagram and Facebook, I'm at kari.life.art. It's KARI.life.art. And this is the best way to actually find me. My main platform is Instagram. You can find a link to my podcast over there. You can also find the photos of the speakers and descriptions of the episodes, but also you can find um, my stories, my pictures, and my thoughts about holistic health. My big passion last month is scientific stretching, because this is also a way to work with our body. And the scientific stretching shows how you can build this spiritual relationship through stretching, through noticing different tension in your body, through self-observation. So I also have my online courses who are guiding people through how they can improve their body and fix certain problems in their life, like a lower back. It's all on my Instagram. So if you get to the Instagram, you're going to find me there, and links to those courses. So yeah, that's the best way to find me online.
Wow, thank you so much. And that's, I've never heard of that, the stretching part of that. That's actually funny, because I was doing stretching for the first time in a long time. And it felt really good, but I never thought that it'd be connected to, the other parts of, the
Yeah,
spirituality.
so
So,
depending on what you are stretching, you can work with the certain chakras also. So I don't want to dive too deep with this one, but that helps us to, yeah, to open up certain areas in our life. Yeah.
wow. So everybody, look into that. That is really interesting. Thanks again so much for being my guest. Really appreciate it. And looks like you're enjoying the weather. We have a lot of rain up here in the Toronto area, but good for you for getting to Mexico, and for all
Yes,
the work that
it's
you're doing. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. This week is very hot, so I hope this heat will gonna go to Canada also. Sending you love and light from Mexico. Thank you
Perfect.
for having me.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you for listening to this episode. Be sure to visit me at bleepbulimia.com.